Hey there guys, it's me, Nitro, and I am once again back with another video. It has been a hot second. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a hot second. I got some explaining to do. Um, because I do have a few I do actually have a few valid excuses this time as to why I kind of fell off the face of the earth. Truth be told, I have been playing Planco2 this entire time. I've actually put a lot of hours into the game. But I have really been trying to get into a full-blown park series, and it hasn't really gotten off the ground yet. Partially due to me being indecisive, and but mostly due to the fact that the game was in just a poor state for such a long time. Especially from like a creative perspective, like the lack of pieces was very evident, and there were just so many frustrating parts of the game. When it came to Shadow Creek, I was actually getting really excited for that series. I had basically wrapped up episode 2, and then I must have written over the file, and I lost all my progress for that episode. And that was just a total motivation killer. And really, ever since then, I have just been going through so many projects, just trying to find something that I can stick with. And I mean, like, I tried like a beachside park like Cedar Point. I tried Studios Park. I tried so many things. But I think I've finally gotten something that is gonna stick around, and that's why I am bringing you in here today. I didn't want to make another video for another series that's just going to go nowhere. It's going to disappear into oblivion. So that's not going to happen this time. I swear. I promise. I'm going to actually continue this. This is really just going to be kind of more like an introduction to what the park is going to be like. I do have a little bit of work to show you. It's not a ton. Decided I wasn't going to do time lapses until I knew I was like settled on this idea. So this is really just going to be kind of explaining what the park is going to be, and then showing you what I've got started on. So this park is supposed to be one of the parks made in the 1970s, kind of after Disney became really successful. A lot of wealthy people tried to get in on the action. They wanted some of that Disney money, so they built their own parks, and that's where you get parks like the majority of the Six Flags parks. My home park, Great Adventure, was one of those parks. That was like, it was supposed to be the Disney of the Northeast, and it never really panned out. It never had the budget that Disney had, so it kind of fell behind and became more of a regional destination. So that is exactly what we are trying to do here. Location wise, it's supposed to be set in Pennsylvania. You'll see there is a map beyond that, so I'm going to show a better like an overhead view in a little while. A friend of mine was working on offered to make a map for me to kind of fit the vibe of the project, and it really is great. So I'm going to show off what he's been doing in just a second. So you'll notice the very first thing that you see here when you enter the park is this gorgeous fountain. This was almost a collaboration effort. Most of it was done by a friend of mine, and then I kind of came in and cleaned it up a little bit. This is supposed to be the Geauga Lake fountain. If you don't know what Geauga Lake is, it was this classic amusement park that was located in Ohio, and it closed in 2007, mostly due to declining attendance and the financial crisis that was impending. The parent company was not in a good state, so it ended up closing. So this is supposed to be kind of the main fountain that was located past the entrance of that park, relocated here to this park. And you'll notice over here is where the entrance to our park is going to be. So it's kind of like the same setup where you walk in the gates of the entrance and the fountain is here. So you'll notice I got a little billboard over here that kind of again, you can kind of see it in there what the original fountain looked like. So yeah, um, color wise, try to lean into the blues a little bit. Obviously you have this nice pop of red, which I think looks really good. I am not someone who's great with flowers or foliage or any of that, but I thought it looked half decent. And as for the actual fountains, it's really simple. It's just three going straight up on both sides, and you have these fish heads that have a little bit of water pouring out of them. But yeah, and you'll notice that this is kind of in the center of our street. I kind of wanted to do like a little square, like it's kind of like my basis of inspiration was I believe it's Hometown. I think the name is the exact same. Hometown Square at the Great America Parks. If you're familiar with those, that's kind of what I was going for. Except I did change the kind of like the ground texture. I noticed while going through Google Maps of my home park, Great Adventure, that the actual street was like this kind of like gray stone slash brick, and then the actual like sidewalk was made out of your typical red brick. So this is actually just the western brick set recolored to kind of look more like a stone paver situation, and I think it gets the deal. It kind of gets the idea across, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. Going down here, this is where the bulk of my time has been spent, and this is all me. I didn't outsource this to anyone. So this is the Hometown Square train station. So I based this train station off of a train station that's in a town near me. I thought it really matched the Main Street vibes that I wanted, kind of like Victorian almost, and would serve as like a nice little icon as you entered through the main entrance area. Nothing too big, nothing too fancy. This is a pretty piece heavy building though. I think it ended up being something around 4,000 pieces, something ridiculous, and it's mostly because all those little details you can see over here, and like that's all custom made using art shapes. Like everything here is, except for the roofs, everything is custom. And it was worth it in the end. I am really happy with this train station. It's just quaint. It feels really nice. It feels like it fits in this park. But yeah, you come around, and this is where your actual platform is. So this is kind of supposed to be like, it's non-functional. I mean, I have tickets over here. I guess like when the park opened, it was probably a ticketed ride. Now it wouldn't be, so you probably wouldn't go inside anymore. But don't I'm not doing the interior in here. It's not happening. It's just no, it's not happening. It could be train museum or something. I don't really know, but we're just gonna leave it like that. At least for now. So you come over here. You'll see Wayfarer's Kingdom Railroad. Again, I don't even notice. I don't even think I mentioned it. Wayfarer's Kingdom. That's the name of the park. I honestly, the name came about because the overall idea of the park, I think it's going to be kind of like loosely adventure based, like you're traveling around the world type thing. So that's where the Wayfarer came from, and then the rest of it's kind of a play on King's Dominion. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of ripped it off from there. You'll come back here. You have some seating over here, some benches. These benches are made by the Haribos. I don't know if they're uploaded on the workshop. I stole it from another, like a collab project that I was a part of. No longer, but they were working in there, and they made these awesome benches, kind of just covering up the Western ones. So I stole them. I won't lie, I stole them. But they fit really nice. These trash cans made by Burnation member Cole, who goes by the name of Lion. There's a whole set of them. They're great. Really just awesome plain trash cans. So when you're boarding the train station, you'll go up here, have like a little old school turnstile you would go through, and then I have like a little waiting area up over here so that if you were actually waiting for the train, this is where you would be. So this train, this train was not made by me. It is a skin of the in-game train, again made from a good friend of mine. Um, I call him Kai. He has multiple different names across all his different platforms, like YouTube, Discord, whatever. So I don't know what to call him. I am gonna leave his YouTube channel in the description. I don't know if he has any plans on uploading on there, but he did do quite a bit of work for me for this episode, so I feel like I should post that down in there. So you'll see that in the description of the YouTube video. These fences are all custom. I don't know why I decided to put myself through the pain of doing that, because over here these fences were perfectly fine, but honestly I think they look really great. I think what it was is I couldn't get the path to be perfectly straight the way I wanted it to, so I had to oh no, I know what it was. You can't get that type of fence up on the actual platform, so I had to ensure that it's all like cohesive. I had to make all of these fences the same, so that's why I decided to do that. Over here we have a little bit, just a little tiny FizzWiz cart. If you don't know what FizzWiz is, it is one of the long-standing Bro Nation brands. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you know what Bro Nation is. It's an awesome Discord server and community that is really focused on building realistic theme parks. And this is kind of like the Bro Nation's Coca-Cola brand type thing. So the actual cart is based off of one that I saw at my home park, Great Adventure, and I basically just copied it but made it FizzWiz. You'll see I got these little soda machines over here. They were originally supposed to be Coke when I got them off the workshop, and I kind of just rebranded it so that it was FizzWiz. I took the logo off and I slapped the drink FizzWiz up there. Also got like a little bit of a like enough of an interior that it looks plausible when you're standing out here. A little sink back there, a clipboard, whatever over there. You can see a bunch of cups up here that the people would come and grab as you come up here, you pay, grab your cup, and then you get your drink and then you move along. I just felt like this was a good place to put it because it fills up, like this is a pretty big gap over here of just path, so I figured that'd be a good place to put it. Over here, this is the very first facade of our main street. You'll see 1974. In my head, that is basically the opening date of the park, and that's why that's like that. This is pretty much a direct ripoff of a building at Six Flags Great America. I decided to do this purely because I wanted something as a reference for scale, and this fit the vibes that I was going for. After this, I'm going to try and do as many unique buildings as possible, but I felt like this was something that needed to be built just so I can basically recreate it so I could get a good sense of scale for the rest of the main street. Coming over here, you'll see I have this ADA accessible ramp, and kind of the idea that I wanted to convey here is that this stairway was always here, but the ramp wasn't. So that is why they had to extend it over here, and basically now you can see this dirty, disgusting backstage, which I am absolutely in love with. It is totally jank, totally like realist. Like this is totally something that a local park could do. It's so stupid, but I love it. So yeah, little, again, ADA accessible ramp right next to your backstage area. I haven't done anything in here. eventually, once the rest of the main street is filled out, which is probably gonna be the next episode. I'll fill out the backstage area. There'll be a bunch of junk back here for you to look at. Coming down here, you have your steps. These like yellow lines are just a little bit of realism added. A friend of mine, Blue Jay, he's also on YouTube. He did this in his park, and I initially was going to, and then I had a long thought about it, and like, yeah, it needs to be like that, because it just looks so much more real. Like, this is how an actual park would do it. So yeah, enough about the stairway. This is just a little bit of a bridge that is there to hold up the train as it goes across, because you need to. I didn't want to raise the actual platform of the station up too high. You'll see, like, it's raised, but it's not egregious. I didn't want to change that, so instead of having the path go over the train, I had the path go on the train. So that's why we have this staircase here, and that's why we have this bridge right here. So this right here is a staff entrance to the actual train station. I don't know if this is realistic or not. I just needed an excuse for this side of the station to be here, this side of the platform to be here, because the entrance and exit are both on the opposite side, and I can't think of a single other reason that this side of the platform would be here, but I can't remove it because that's just how it works in Planet Coaster. Ooh, I'm in the bush. Yeah, so I decided to make a little staff entrance point. Danger, all authorized personnel keep out. Just a little detail there. I think it works. I think it kind of sells the idea. I don't know if this is realistic or not. Same thing with that shed over there. That's there to cover up the operator's booth. So some of the facilities on the actual train station are just there to cover up the Planet Coaster bits. Although I did forget to mention, one of the very few mods I have is the mod that gets rid of the actual in-game gates. So you'll see I have custom gates over here. So when this eventually, and this is nowhere in the immediate future, when this gets uploaded to the workshop, you will probably need this mod for the entire thing to look right. It'll work no problem, but if you want it to look right, it'll need that mod. I believe it's by Leaf, and it's on the Planet Coaster 2 Nexus workshop thing. Again, more of the same on the other side. You got these stairs down here, basically just to get you under the train. Now, with that being said, that is the end of the tour. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overhead shot so you can see what is happening. So this is the incredible map that was made for me by a good friend of mine. He is still working on it. He said he wants to really have like a detailed creek in here for me to build around. So hopefully that'll be ready for the next episode. No promises, as he is very busy. I know he's been dealing with some stuff, so we'll see when that gets done. I'm nowhere near it, so it's in no rush. So yeah, this is I'm trying to kind of visualize what the actual engine's is gonna look like. I'm gonna need some sort of step down, and I don't know where the parking lot will be, but we'll figure that out for next time. So yeah, next episode, be finishing up, most likely going to be finishing up Main Street, and then episode 3 will be the other side of the Main Street, assuming that I don't get sidetracked with like water park stuff or any of the other fun stuff that I haven't touched yet, because I haven't been able to stick to a project. So yeah, thanks for let's get into Tetra Cam. Thank you so much for taking a second to watch this video. I know there's a lot of great Planet Coaster 2 content out there on YouTube. So it means a lot to me that you decided to check this out. If you've stuck around this long, please go ahead and subscribe. I promise you, this is sticking around. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pumped. I'm feeling excited to work on this. Also, if you have a preference over like time-lapse or just like general standardized updates, let me know. I'm open to either. It doesn't really affect me. I know some people really like the time-lapse, so if you want time-lapse, I'll give you time-lapse. So yeah, appreciate all the great feedback you guys give every video. So without further ado, I'm gonna head out of here. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.